Well, we have a big issue right here. Niger is bringing in Starlink of Elon Musk to cover the entirety of the country because of internet connection problems. Here's Niger. As you can see, beautiful people on a map. Lovely place. Great people, but very hot. Very humble people. If you've never been to Africa, you want that kind of culture, that's the culture you like, you must go see Niger. Now, Niger is working very hard to bring in Elon Musk to come and cover the country with Starlink connection. And a lot of people are getting very excited about this.
Avec ça, nous pouvons avoisiner 80 voire 100% de couverture réseau parce que tout le territoire du Niger est couvert par les satellites de Starlink. C'est très important et ça permet, comme je l'ai dit également, à tous les acteurs économiques, à toutes les écoles, à toutes les universités d'avoir une connectivité à la médecine, à l'agriculture, de profiter très facilement de cette technologie-là de très haut débit.
So the essential services that support the development is banking, hospitals, schools, energy, and agricultural all depend on internet data and emphasize economic. Niger clearly need to be connected to function as a normal country. But because they're going through many difficulties, which we're going to see right now, they cannot get connected. How is that a problem? Well, Niger has been working for the longest time with France. France was the best friend, the partner, the colonizer, rather. France had all the infrastructure. They owned it. They own internet connection. They own telecommunication. Now, because they kicked out French soldiers, because they felt that they were too much in the country, they were dominating, they were controlling, France, obviously, like a bitter loser, say, okay, I'm going to take away my connection. How about that? Now, Niger is going through the most right now. However, the solution they've found is to bring in Starlink, discuss with Elon Musk to fund a deal, get Elon Musk in the country. Okay, I'm just wondering why don't they fund another country like Kenya to bring internet? Or maybe Malawi or Zimbabwe. Oh, they don't even have internet themselves. That's the problem. That is the major problem. Is this good news or bad? Is this intelligent or rather very dangerous for Niger? Let's see the facts. Starlink is a constellation of satellites. Elon Musk shot thousands of satellites, which allows an internet connection even at random places. So you can be in a forest and still get internet because of Starlink. So it's very efficient. Does it function? Yes, it functions really well. And it covers wherever you want, whether it is the sea, the forest, the savannah, you're going to get internet. Is this good news? Question mark. Now, let's see the past. Somebody told me that if you want to know what somebody will do in the future, just look back what they've done in the past. You don't have to look too far. Just look what they've done in the past. You will clearly see what kind of people they are. Right now in Niger, Nigerians bring fraudulent Starlink equipment at 260,000 CFA franc. That's about 396 euros to 600 euros. I'm not saying this. You can check this on internet. I'm not going for Nigerians. Nigerians are bringing in Starlink equipment from Nigeria illegally into Niger at a cheap price. I'm not inventing this. I'm just reporting what the Nigerians are doing. It's not me saying that Nigerians are criminals. No, I didn't say that. Let's get back on track. Now, if you look in the past, you will see a very clear history. Starlink is entering Africa right now. Countries where Starlink has established a notable presence include Nigeria, Kenya, Mozambique, Rwanda, Zimbabwe, Ghana, Botswana, Chad, and more. So Starlink is coming in power, very strong. Now, let's look in the past. What happened with Starlink? Starlink trying to get into South Africa. They had some major issues. What are the issues that they had? Well, South Africa has a policy where if you're a big business, you need to give at least 30% of your shares to black people. Yeah. South Africa has a policy of empowering black people. Why? Because it's Africa. Number two, because black people of South Africa have gone through the most for the longest time. So when your country was perhaps getting freedom in the 1960s, South Africa was still eating Yeah, they were being beaten up because of apartheid. It's only 1994 where they actually eventually got the freedom, when Nelson Mandela came out of jail and they went through elections, which they won in the most tremendous way possible. Now, in South Africa, the policy is simple. You want to bring your business? Great. But you must make sure if your business is a big business, that 30% of it is black owned. And they're going to make sure that black people sit at every level of the business. They won't be just gardeners and cleaners and stuff. No, they want black people to be at managerial positions. They want black people to be CEOs and COOs and CTOs. They want black people to be sitting there. Well, Elon Musk is not very happy with that. No, he doesn't want that. He doesn't like that policy. He believes the policy is very racist. And well, this is our country. If you want to come into our country, then you must respect the policy. What later on happened was Elon Musk told Donald Trump South Africa has a racist policy. He even told Donald Trump that South African black people are taking land from white people, which is incorrect. That is when Donald Trump came for South Africa, saying you are a racist country, therefore we're cutting aid from you.
Terrible things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. And until such time as we find out what South Africa is doing, they're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than...
Let's roll back a little bit. Musk brought Airlink to South Africa. South Africa said before you install your company in our country, make sure 30% is run by black people. He said no. No. This is racist. Why? Well, this is Africa, my brother. Then he went to Trump and say, listen, that country, they're taking land from white people by force. Trump imposed a sanction and cut aid to South Africa. Next thing, let's go to Ukraine. When the war started in Ukraine, the Russians bombarded Ukrainian infrastructure, including the telecommunication infrastructure. It was completely destroyed. The goal, obviously, is when you're fighting somebody, in modern war, you must make sure they don't communicate. So you destroy their communication infrastructure, therefore destroying internet. And by destroying internet, you also destroy TV because, well, nobody's going to watch internet if they bomb it every time. Elon Musk came forward. He showed that I'm a good man. Let me give you Starlink in the meantime so you can watch Netflix and chill. I don't know about the chill part, but Netflix. Whilst Putin is bombarding your infrastructure, I'm going to give you access to Starlink. Well, that's worked pretty well in the beginning when Ukrainians continued the war using Starlink, even though their internal infrastructure was completely destroyed. Now, a few months into the war, the Ukrainians had an opportunity to go and destroy the Russian naval fleet. Now, a few moments before they went and bombarded the Russian naval fleet, Elon Musk shut off internet because he felt that, if I allow them to go and bomb Russian fleet, Russia will probably shoot nuclear bomb and we're all going to die. Was that a good decision or not? We don't know. But a few days ago, fellas, Donald Trump told Ukraine, if you don't sign a deal, which we're asking you to do, we're going to shut off Starlink.
How close are you to striking a minerals deal?
I think we're pretty
Ukraine?
close, yeah. I think they want it, and they feel good about it, and it's significant, it's a big deal, but they want it, and it keeps us in that country, and they're very happy about it. But we get our money back.
Now, what's the deal about? The deal says Ukraine must give up 50% of their minerals to the United States of America for protection. So all the minerals you have, oil, gas, uranium, you name it, we want 50%. You don't give us 50%, we are going to shut off internet. That is what they say to the Ukrainians. Why? Because the Ukrainians are getting internet from Americans. Now, let's get back on track. South Africa saw its aid cut off because South Africa told Musk, in order for you to open your company in our country, 30% must go to black people. Ukraine saw something very similar. When Ukraine said we don't want to give you 50% of our mineral, Elon Musk threatened to shut internet off. Are you seeing a pattern there? Are you seeing a behavior right there? It means I can work with you until things don't go my way. If things don't go the way I want them, I will shut off internet. Now, should the Nigerian do the same thing? Should they allow Elon Musk to be the sole provider of internet in the country? Because if they done it in the past with South Africans, saying, well, because we couldn't get into your country, then we're going to shut off the aid, then we're going to sanction you. If they did it to the Ukrainians, because you refuse to give us 50% of your mineral, we are going to shut off internet. What are they going to do to the Nigerians? So you see why it is important for you to be independent. Why can't Africans produce their own things? Like the whole of Africa, there is no internet service provider that is 100% black. I'm sorry, I'm just saying. Nothing racialist, nothing racist. I'm just saying. Why there probably is an internet service provider that's 100% Indian. Yes, there is probably an internet service provider that is 100% Chinese, and there's nothing racist about that. There's probably an internet service provider that is 100% Danish. Why isn't there an internet service provider that is 100% African? so they can service other Africans for the interest of Africans. Elon Musk in the past incited Trump to issue a sanction and cut off aid of South Africa because South Africa refused to let him in his business unless he provided 30% of the shares to black people. Elon Musk in the past threatened to shut off internet from Ukraine because Ukraine refused to share 50% of their wealth with the United States of America. Now, you are letting Elon Musk in your country to take 100 or 90% of the space when it comes to internet. Is that clever? Remember this. Starlink is very efficient. It's working really, really well. It's very fast. It's very reliable. It's very compact. So the service and the quality are really, really good. And so that's a motivator for lots of people to get Starlink. Now, what kind of competition do they need? They need competition. I remember in a country in Africa, back in time in the 1990s, internet service provider were just coming into countries. There was one internet service provider, and it was extremely expensive because there was no competition. When there's no competition, there's control. Until they brought in competition, that's when the price went down and people could afford it. Same for Starlink. Yes, Starlink with his technique of satellite looks like they are very much alone. If not alone, they are up there. They need a level of competition. You cannot give one entity so much power in terms of communication and connection. Because if Starlink is your communication, like how can you be against America? How can you have a policy that's not for America? Because they're reading everything you're sending. They're listening to everything. Doesn't even make sense. Isn't this time for Africans to think about Africa and do things for Africans? God bless.